Hey everybody, welcome back to A Better Computer. My name is Matt, and I use Apple Music as my music streaming service. Yes, I know about Spotify. Yes, I've used Spotify. Yes, I've even used it recently. I prefer Apple Music for a multitude of reasons that we don't have to get into today, but everyone can use whatever they like. That's fine. But there is one thing I wanted to talk about today that Apple Music does not do well, in my opinion, and that is something that it really should do well. This should be table stakes for a music service these days, and it's letting me know when music from the artists that I like release new music. It seems so basic, but it's a thing that I feel like Apple Music doesn't do as well as it should. But that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm alone here. Maybe there's other people who are totally happy with it, and I'm just an outlier and I'm not using the app right? And so my day job is as a user experience designer. I am designing experiences for users. I'm talking to users, trying to figure out what they like, what they need, how to solve their problems. And so while I can't do that for Apple Music because I don't work for Apple, and honestly, I don't have the time to do this pro bono, what I can do is post to Twitter. And I posted a form to Twitter for people to fill out. I got about 50 or so responses, and people told me what they thought about music discovery on the service. So today I'm going to share with you what they told me, and then some of my ideas for how Apple could make music discovery for the artists that you probably want to know when they release new music, how they can improve that in the app today. All right, so the headline feature I wanted to know was, are you happy, yes or no, with how Apple Music lets you know about new music from artists you like? And 75% of respondents in this survey, which again is maybe not representative of the entire Apple Music user base, but is what I could get, 75% said they are unhappy with how Apple Music handles this. Only a quarter said they were happy. Now, what counts as new music was another question. Is it albums? Is it singles? Is it EPs? Is it when they're featured on a song by someone else? What would you want to see a notification for? And so in that, everyone said they wanted an album notification. One person said no, but I feel like they answered the question wrong. But almost everyone said they wanted to know when a new album comes out. And 80%, about that range, said they wanted to be notified of singles and EPs as well. Now, only 30-some% wanted to be notified when they were featured. An artist you like is featured on someone else's song. That wasn't nearly as popular, so we probably wouldn't want to do that. And then one person also suggested when an album by someone that you follow is upgraded to Dolby Atmos for spatial audio, they'd like to be notified of that as well. That's maybe an edge case, but I guess theoretically could be a thing. But I think the big feedback was albums, 100% people want to be notified, and EPs and singles, most people want to be notified. The next question was, where should these notifications live? And the number one spot people wanted these to live was the Listen Now tab. So this is already where the app is suggesting things to you. That is a lot of new music, is a lot of old music, things you've listened to before, things you listened to recently, and this would be a natural place for that to go. Here's new music from artists that you already follow. It sort of does this, but it's definitely not as reliable as it should be, as evidenced by 75% of people not being satisfied with what it's doing today. Additionally, people were generally okay with it being put in your library somewhere, so make it easy to add from your library page. And some other people were actually okay with it being put in push notifications. That's kind of a dangerous place to go. People get real annoyed with push notifications they don't want. So I don't know if that's necessarily the place to do it, but in the app, on the Listen Now page for sure, on the library page maybe, that would be a good place that people seem to like the idea of making sure that they're seeing these new albums, singles, and EPs from their artists. Okay, so now we get to the fun part, right? This is, what am I going to actually do to change Apple Music had I the power to do it? So I have a list of 5 things I would do. And the first thing is pretty obvious. I would just listen to the users. And at the top of the Listen Now page in the app, anytime there's new music from the artists I have in my library or that I've listened to a considerable amount, even if they're not in my library, I would put new releases from them at the top of the Listen Now page. People could see them, they could add them to their library quickly, and they could X them out if they actually don't want that one. They could just ignore it, and that would be great. It would be really, really great to just reliably have the new music that's from the artists you like at the top of that Listen Now page. The second thing I would like to add is a new page to the app entirely, and it would be kind of a calendar view or a feed view, something like that, where I could see upcoming albums and EPs and singles that Apple Music knows exist that are in the catalog that I can access if I just search for them, but I should just be able to go to a page and see, here are the upcoming releases from the artists that you follow, and ideally I could also toggle over to a view to see, here's some of the recent releases from the artists that you follow, and just see it all in one place. This is really similar to what a third-party app called Music Harbor does. Music Harbor has a lot of great features. Some of them are free, some of them are paid, but it has this idea of, here's all the artists in your library, and we're going to show you a list of every single release from them so you can easily add them to your library. And I really rely on this app to keep track of what's going on. It would be really great for the Apple Music service to have something like this built in as well. Thing number 3 I would do is something that we might have to do if we add a new entire page, especially on the iPhone, is we're going to have to let you customize the navigation a little bit. Let me move things around. Let me make the library the first tab so that when the app opens, I go to my library first, not the Listen Now page, right? Like, let me customize the experience a little bit more so that I can navigate to the pages I want to navigate to and hide the ones even that I don't want to go to ever. Item 4 is kind of a general one, but I would shrink the UI wherever possible. The home screen of the Listen Now page especially is just such a rough use of space on the iPhone and even on the larger devices. You could fit a lot more information if you wanted here. And I know it's a visual thing, but it's also a little hard to use. And like, you just feel like you have to scroll forever to even get to sections that are a couple rows down. I would shrink the UI just in general, make it a little less big and in your face, especially on the iPhone where space is at a premium. And 5, this is not really related to anything, but I would really, really, really love to be able to download MP3s onto my iPad or my iPhone, drag them into the music app, and have them just upload to my account. You can do this on the Mac already. It's a wonderful feature. So like if I'm buying music directly from an artist or I'm buying through Bandcamp or something, and I get MP3s as the file or FLAC files or whatever, like lossless files that I'm going to get, I'm able to just drag those into the music app on the Mac, and those will sync across all my devices, and I can listen to them in Apple Music on any device. It's wonderful. It's one of the great differentiators for me between Apple Music and Spotify, and you can't do that. So if I go to bandcamp.com on my iPad, I download the zip file, I unzip it in the Files app, there's nothing I can do with those MP3s. I can't add them to the music app. I really should be able to do that. So Apple, please, it's been so many years. There's no performance reason. There's no reason this couldn't be done. It's just functionality that should be there. And maybe it's a really niche thing, but it's a really cool feature and it ought to be there on the iPhone and the iPad. So those are the things I would change about the app. Those were some results from talking to people about Apple Music, how they feel about Discovery. And yeah, I would love to see any of these changes. WWDC is just a couple short months away, and we'll see if Apple does anything like this. I don't expect them to be watching this video or anything, but hopefully these are just common sense things that they will come to as well. And yeah, I'd love to see that in Apple Music. So if you liked it, hit the like button. If you loved it, I'd love it if you subscribed and saw more tech videos about productivity and Apple stuff and all that good stuff. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you here next time. Bye-bye.